Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back. So breaking news coming from 9 to 5 Google, and I'm going to pull up the article and talk about it. But this is, if true, this is a little bit weird, like absolutely weird. Um, and I don't know what to think of the big G company. I don't know what to think about them anymore. With this entire move. Now, as the title says, the Pixel 5a 5G is said to be using the same chip as the Pixel 5. Why would they do this specific move? So, anyways, so credit to 9 to 5 Google on reporting on this. It is actually 9to5google.com that wrote this article. And so I'm going to go through it here just to kind of explain. And at the same time, too, I will link it in the chat for anyone that wants to go and read for themselves and follow up for themselves. And hopefully this will not be considered correct information. Hopefully, because this is ridiculous. But 9 to 5 Google reports and says Google Pixel 5a 5G. And first of all, let me just stop right there and say this. Okay, it's getting a little redundant. Let's just call it the Google Pixel 5a. I'm pretty sure that devices going forward are implementing modems that can connect to 5G bands. Obviously, that is where the network is evolving to. We don't need to be reminded all the time that this device is apparently 5G, according to them. Let me adjust the microphone here. So, okay, but anyways, Google Pixel 5a 5G set to run on the same Snapdragon 765 as the Pixel 5. This is ridiculous. Okay, so here on this article, they pretty much like talk about the Pixel 5a 5G, that it exists, it's coming, it's going to be released, yada, 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 this, that, and so forth. And then they go to like potential chips that the Pixel 5a could have used. And the named chips are the Snapdragon 480, the Snapdragon 690, and the one that they're saying that's going to be used, which is a 765G. And then they talk about the Snapdragon 768G, which I would have thought that, for a reason for somebody that has the Pixel 4a 5G to upgrade to the 5a 5G, you would do like a minor incremental change. We can't look for innovation today because mobile OEM companies are not actually really being innovative. They're just focusing on camera adjustments and camera sensors and whatnot. And that's that. But a minor incremental bump would have been, going with the 768G, which I hope that when they unveil this thing, it's what it has. Of course, people are going to talk about, that there's a chip shortage and all this other stuff. Whatever. I don't, I don't entertain that whatsoever. In my opinion, this is a bit alarming. So they talk about how with the release of Android 12 Developer Preview 3, one of their people, Dylan Russell, has dug into the files and discovered numerous references to the codename Barbit, which is confirmed to be the Pixel 5a 5G. So Barbit is the codename for it, right? They have a little screenshot there that shows a little bit of of the code and everything like that. So you see, user /local /Google build bot /src / or / whatever Googleplex -- Polygon -- Android -- SM7250. Then this is coding that they pulled. This is coding that they pulled from Android 12 Developer Preview 3. So this is not something that was like made up or anything like that. They pulled this code from Developer Preview 3. So Barbit is what we know is the Pixel 5a. And then what is a reference to the SM7250? And as it says here, that the SM7250 is the part number for the Snapdragon 765G. So if you were to look on Qualcomm's base of processing chips that they build, the part number, so this is a serial number given to that specific chip to identify it through SKUs or SKUs, is SM7250. The 765G is that. So this, to me, and I will open up so you guys can read how it continuously encode actually reference this, right? So this is taken from Android 12 Developer Preview 3. They tore into it. I mean, this is what these publications do. Like 9 to 5 Google does this, Fandroid does this, various different companies do this. They get a hold of the most recent developer preview, and then they tear into it to find if there's anything lurking in the code that would reference something that's coming down the pike, right? So obviously a new device such as the Pixel 5a is what they're going to be looking for to see if there's anything that is in there in code and referencing to a feature that maybe was not mentioned or leaked about the Pixel 5a. It could also be looking for the Pixel 6 and seeing if there's a 6 XL, seeing if there's, 3 different code names where there could be a 6 XL, and then a Pixel Fold, or are we getting a Pixel Fold and the Pixel 6, or is there going to be 3, there's the configurations of things, right? They want to know. And finding this becomes alarming because, again, they get the code name for Pixel 5a, which is Barbie or Barbit, and then a part number is used next to it, SM7050, which obviously is going to be, linked to the type of processor chip that is going to be in the Pixel 5a. So they're saying that it's safe to say that they pretty much already know what the processing chip is. And the processing chip is going to be the Snapdragon 765G. Now, here comes the big question that we're going to ask Google. Why are you going to build another Pixel 4a 5G? Because that's what it's going to be, literally, is the Pixel 4a 5G rebuilt. And why? Why are they doing this? Why is this it? Like, it's bad enough as it is that innovation in mobile technology has completely nearly died. It's like living on a very weak pulse, right? Until a company comes along and reinvigorates that aspect of mobile technology and kind of brings that back into play. Then we'll see something to that nature of something new. I mean, we got Samsung that's in the realm of trying to be innovative with foldable technology and such, and that could be the next evolution state of mobile technology, is everyone going towards foldables, bringing back clamshell designs and longer clamshell designs and whatever. Maybe they might even come up with a flexible display for a twist. Who knows the possibilities? But we do know that Samsung is trying, and they're about the only company that's trying. Nobody else is really trying anymore. LG's off the map, so we can't even consider LG part of it. And Apple and Google are just going to replicate what Samsung is doing. Like, if Apple builds a foldable iPhone, obviously that's in reference to Samsung's idea of foldable technology, and the same will be said with the Google Pixel Fold. You can expect those things to just be really linked to Samsung and their idea to try and stay innovative and go forward with foldable technology. But other than that, there's really not much happening with innovation in the mobile tech in the mobile tech game. So for Google to do this, to say, okay, we're going to release a Pixel 5a, which a lot of people question, why was there a need to when they released 2 A series devices last year, which wasn't even that long ago? The 4a 5G is not old. And even by the time that they speculate the Pixel 5a would be released, which is sometime in August, according to a lot of sources out there, the 4a 5G would still not be a year old, because the 4a 5G didn't come till November 2020. You got to remember the timeline of these devices. Pixel 4a released in August, right? It was unveiled August 3rd and for pre-order, and then pre-order shipped on August 26th. So the end of August, beginning of September is when the 4a came. Then in October, the 5 came, and the 4a 5G was announced. But the 4a 5G didn't become available until November of 2020. So November of 2021 would make the 4a 5G a year old. And while we're having the 5a more than likely released and in August, unless Google tries to shift it around and actually release this thing at Google I/O next month, this still begs the question then, what was the point? What was the point of the 5a? What is going to change in the 5a that the 4a 5G lacks? Because if you're using the same processor chip, it's pretty much the 4a 5G. That's really what it's going to be. if you're gonna, argue on case point that maybe the display is slightly bigger by 0.01, that's not a big enough reason to even say, okay, I'm going to upgrade to the 5A, because initially that's what Google's going to try to do with the A series. More than likely, they're more than likely run on Google Fi, a what was that 2-year subscription thing again, where you make monthly payments on the device. You're promising to be with them for 2 years, and you're paying less than what the actual retail value of the price is. They could initially push that. So they're going to want to push this. But if somebody already went ahead and bought the 4A 5G last year, November, and then they're like, okay, well, the 4A 5G was solid, I'm going to go ahead and, upgrade to the 5A. What's the point? What is the point? I mean, from a lot of leaked specifications on the device, it's pretty much about the same size as the 4A 5G. Okay, it's supposed to have dual sensors in the back like the 4A 5G. Build quality obviously similar to the 4A 5G. They didn't upgrade the camera sensors because the new camera sensors that Google went away from the IMX 363s. The 6 will be the upgrade to that. So the 5A is going to use the IMX 363 from Sony. So there's not a lot of change. And then now to find this out in that code right there to say that the Pixel 5a's processor chip is in fact the 765G, more than likely using the X52 modem. So not a lot of difference with last year's release of Pixels, and people are going to really slam Google. And the reason that I am emphasizing this is because I am a fan of Google Pixels. I like using Google Pixels. I think they're great phones, but it's really hard to have discourse with people when they're going to look at these decision makings that Google execs are doing and use that as a reason to trash them, or use that as a reason to say that they're incompetent. And you can't argue that point, because then you sit back and you're like, okay, the 5A is pretty much the 4A 5G. Then you got to ask yourself, what was the point of creating this? What was the point of releasing this? What was the point of doing it? For the sakes of saying that we got an A series device, I would have been okay if they didn't do another A series device until November of 2021. I would have been okay with it. Maybe some people wouldn't, because some people just want to rush everything and I want it now. I want it now. This ain't JG Wentworth. It's not your smartphone and you can't have it now. And I think people really should just shut up on that notion and just, sit back, eat an Otter Pop or two, pop like whatever your favorite beverage is, and just stew a little bit and let these people do their thing. But no, it just seems like supply and demand has really overshadowed critical thinking and logical thinking. And this is the outcome that what we get stupidity and just blatant like slap to the face. The 5A 5G, I'm going to go on record and say this, and I'm a Pixel guy, okay? But the 5A 5G is a literal slap to the face of everyone in the community, consumers alike. It's a slap to us. It's a literal slap to us, because it's like you're gonna feed us this. There are those people who chase after Pixel flagship devices. Totally cool, okay? But there are some people who probably prefer the A series much better, and they go for the A series. So they'll upgrade to the next A series. And this is like a slap to their face. Those who are fans of the Pixel A's. It's a downright slap to their face. And I don't understand the whole point. I don't understand where they're going with this and why. Why did they even attempt this? But like I said, hopefully this is just a lot of the leaked BS. And by the time that it comes out, they announce that it has the 768G, and that'll be cool. And there's still a lot of time between now and then for them to actually release this phone and to make changes. So right now it's rumored 765G, and maybe this is just like, maybe they have a Pixel 5a that they're working on, and they're trying to iron bugs out in their secret Dexter's laboratory beneath the ground, and they put a 765G chip in there to start out with. But maybe that's not it. That's not it. Who knows? I mean, I hate to think that this is what it's going to be. I hate to think that. And I'd like to think that the people that made by Google are a bit smarter than this, and also, you know, a bit thoughtful to think. I mean, the only person who benefits from this really is somebody that didn't get the Pixel 4a 5G but wanted it, but now there's a slight update to it in the 5A, and so they have the money to buy a phone, so they buy the 5A. That would be the only person who wins in this, is getting exactly what they wanted out of the 4A 5G, but just didn't have the money at the time to get one. 5A pops out, more than likely price around what the 4A 5G was, and buys the 5A. And that's another thing too. If they price this thing way higher than what the 4A 5G sold for, they're nuts. Because then that's just going to totally give people to just eat the G company alive if they were to price this thing a bit higher than what the 4A 5G released for, solely on the fact that it's the next generation of the A series and not technically that it's actually a hardware upgrade bump up. I mean, could you imagine? It has everything that the 4A 5G has. And let's say that it has millimeter wave support, which, you know, the 4A 5G does have millimeter support too if you buy the Verizon model one. So let's say the Verizon model one sold for $599. If in fact the 5A is priced around that or a little bit higher, no go. But the only other thing I can think of that could be even a positive for this phone is if this phone launches, and excuse my kids, they're like being super loud, but hey, that's the life of a dad. But if this device releases in August and it is priced sub $400, that would be the only thing that it's a saving grace, is it being less than the 4A 5G. So then people that didn't want to spend a high amount of what they consider a high amount on the 4A 5G would actually purchase the 5A, which will give them entirely the same thing that the 4A 5G is at a markdown. That would be the only saving grace to this phone, really, is that. But again, it still targets people that wanted the 4A 5G but just didn't have the money. And you know what? We have all walks of life, okay? So anyone that wants to be a little, you know, snickering about it and like whoever can't afford the phone shouldn't get the phone, like shut up. Okay? There are people out there who work, you know, day by day and bust their butts and save every dollar that they can because they got to maintain their bills and not just blow all their money on a smartphone, but save up until they can. And I respect those that are like that. So, you know, just throwing it out there, giving fair warning. I don't dig that type of stuff. But you know, this would be definitely beneficial for them because I would get the latest from the A series released, and if it's cheaper, then obviously it's going to be cheaper. So you know, that would be the only saving grace. But the fact that it's using, according to this code, the 765G is very, very, very a letdown to that extent. Hopefully that's not what it is. But anyways, guys, this is my quick live rant about the Pixel 5a 5G. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Those that watch the replay, hashtag replay crew, and leave me your thoughts and opinions on the Pixel 5a using the 765G. What are your thoughts? I'm already pretty sure that most people are going to be just a slight bit annoyed by it and probably open up. And I would love to read you guys' interesting, responses. If you're new to the channel, hey, why not hit that subscribe button? That helps. Turn on bell notifications, right? Select all, so you guys don't miss an episode of a live stream that I do, or you guys don't miss a video that I've uploaded. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And shout out to the channel members for being members of the channel. Really appreciate you guys so much. You guys are awesome. So yeah, that is it for right now. It's a very short live stream, not very long. Gotta head out of here. Got things to do. Y'all take it easy. Love, peace, chicken grease. See you guys later.